Hello, welcome everyone to lecture number 34 of Fundamentals of Computing. This is on World Wide Web, which is commonly known as WWW. The topics that I am going to cover in this lecture are the definition of World Wide Web, history of World Wide Web, architecture of World Wide Web, working of World Wide Web, features of WWW, evolutions of WWW, that is from Web 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0, and lastly the tools. So let us start with this. What exactly is a WWW? WWW is commonly known as a World Wide Web. World Wide Web means what? It is a collection of all public websites or web pages that can be accessed on a computer or any device through internet. So from the figure you can see that this dot represents the connection between the different devices in a network, and WWW is nothing but it is the collection of public websites or web pages. Here the website is like a book that contains the number of interconnected web pages, and web pages is nothing but you can say it contains the text, video and audio that you want to display on the website. So WWW is nothing but you can say it allows users to access the documents and multimedia resources that are interconnected through hyperlinks. So what is a hyperlink? Hyperlink is nothing but it is also called as a web links. Web links means it is a clickable element that connects to the another location. That location may be within a page or between the different web pages. So WWW can include text, images, audio, video, animations and interactive elements. Next I will go for the history of World Wide Web. So in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee proposal at CERN. CERN is what? It is an European organization for nuclear research, and where the WWW was developed. It wrote an information management proposal outlining Universal Link Information System. In 1990, Core Technologies was developed, and Berners-Lee developed hypertext markup language, the HTTP, that's a protocol, we have gone through it in the last lecture, URI and URL on a next computer. So URL we have already seen, it's what? It's a uniform resource locator. URI means what? The uniform resource identifier that is used to identify resources on a internet. It has resources that may be your web pages, text, audios, videos, and it has two subsets. The one is URL and other is called as a URN. So URL we have seen that it is nothing but it is a uniform resource locator which identifies resources by L means location, and whereas URN this identifies resources by name. The best example of a URN is a ISBN, that is the book is identified by the ISBN number. So ISBN stands for your International Standard Book Number, which is used to identify book without specifying where it can be found. But in the case of URL, the location has to be defined. You give what we used in the domain name system for the given website. First web server and website was developed in 1990. The first web server ran at CERN. that is info.cern.ch, hosting the first website about www project. First web browser, Berners-Lee created the first web browser, and it was initially named as World Wide Web, later named as Nexus. In 1991, Line Mode browser was released, which was a simpler text-based browser, made the web accessible on more computers at a CERN. WW announced on Internet News Group. Berners-Lee publicly announced the WW project, and it increases the awareness beyond CERN, and the first web server outside the Europe was established at Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, SLAC, in California. In 1992, WW software considered reliable. The technology at CERN matured, leading to the appearance of more web servers, primarily at academic institutions. Early graphical browsers emerged. These are Midas, Viola, and Airwise, provided graphical interfaces. In 1993, Mosaic browser release, which was developed by NCSA, is nothing but is the National Center for Supercomputing Application, and Mosaic is a user-friendly graphical interface with their inline images significantly broadened the web's appeal. Also, CERN puts www in the public domain. That was a crucial decision, making the software royalty free and fostering rapid growth and innovation. In 1994, Netscape Navigator released, just founded by Mark Edison and Jim Clark. Netscape Navigator became the dominant browser that introduces new features. In 1995, Internet Explorer was introduced, and the Microsoft entered the browsers market. In mid 1990s onward, there was explosive growth and continued evolution, and that causes the rapid increase in websites and users. There's a continuous development of a new technologies, standards and applications transforming various aspects of life. So this diagram shows how the WW changes with the years, or you can say the change in the WW or the internet over the years. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee proposal to CERN. In 1990, there was a development of HTTP, HTML, URI and URL, and first web browser, World Wide Web, which was later named Nexus. In 1991, the Line Mode, that is the text-based browser, was introduced. In 1992, graphical browser, Midas, Viola and Airwise came into the picture. In 1993, Mosaic came into the picture, which was a user-friendly web browser, and WW comes in a public domain. Whereas in 1994, we have another browser, that is the Netscape Navigator. In 1995, we have a Internet Explorer, and from mid 1990s onwards, there was a rapid increase in websites and users. So this is almost about 30 years of WWW. So this shows how the WW changes over the years or over the 30 years. Next, we will discuss about the architecture of World Wide Web. The most simple architecture, it's a client server base. In the client server, you have the client, that is the user, that sends a request to the server, and the server, on the basis of the request, responds accordingly to the users, or you can say clients. So what is this? In the client server model, this is the basic model. Here client, that is the web browser, it sends a request to a server, that is the web server, and finally the server responds with the requested resource. So, client acts as an interface between the user and the World Wide Web. So, here the client is what? It is a web browser through which a user sends a request to the World Wide Web. The client can access the services from the server using a browser, and these services are distributed over many locations, we call as the sites or the websites. A powerful computer that contains the information in the form of website is called as a server. So, this diagram shows a client server architecture. Here you have a client that uses a web browser. The request has been sent to the site A, that is a website A, then accordingly the web page will be delivered to here. It can also send a request to the website B, and then the web pages will be delivered to the client through the web servers. So, this is the most simplest architecture, that is the client server architecture, which is used in a www, or you can say access the www by the client or the user by using a web browser. Other architecture models are also there. One can use a 3-tier model also. In the case of a 3-tier model, it introduces an application logic layer between the client and the database server. So, what is the database server? Database server is a server where the data is stored, or you can say database is stored. Presentation tier, that is client, handles the user interface and interaction. Application tier, which is at the server side, here the processes use request, retrieves and manipulates data and implements business logic. Examples include application servers running PHP, Java or ASP.NET. Data tier, this is the database server that stores and manages the data which is used by the application. So, this diagram represents the 3-tier model. It contains presentation tier, that is a client, application tier, that is a server, and data tier, that is the database server. So, this is what your database server. So, from the presentation tier, that is a client, it sends a request to the server. The corresponding data will or database will be taken out from the database server to the application server, and then the request has been provided to the client, or you can say the presentation tier. So, in this way the 3-tier model works. Another model is a service oriented architecture that we call as a SOA. It is nothing but it is a design paradigm where application components are designed as independent services that communicate with each other over a network. Web services often using protocols like SOAP, that is a simple object access protocol, and WSDL, that is the web services description languages. These are the example of service oriented architecture on the web. So, in the consumer group we have the different number of clients, and these are the various types of the services that will be asked, and from the database it can be accessed. So, these are the different type of architectures of WW. Simplest one is the client server, second one is the 3-tier, and third one is the service oriented architecture, or you call as a SOA. Next question comes, how this World Wide Web works. It basically works on the client server model. Client server model means what? Client sends a request to the server and the server responds accordingly to the client, or you can say provide services to the client. So, in figure you see that there is a web browser and the web server. So, user enters a web address, that is the URL, or that we call as a uniform resource locator, in a browser's address bar, and then click, or it may click link. Suppose you say that www.google.com, this is the URL it has entered. Then what happened? After that the browser communicates with the DNS server. Then browser send HTTP and or HTTPS request, as the case may be. If you have written HTTP colon this, then here you are using what? The HTTP. If you want a secure one, then you write what? HTTPS and this. So that depends what type of protocol you have used. Web server receives this request and process the request. So through web browser you have entered the URL, and this request has been first communicates with the DNS server, then browser send this HTTP or HTTPS request, as the case may be. Then the web server receives the request and process it. After that the web server sends HTTP response. Browsers renders the web page. So this is the working of a World Wide Web, or you can say WWW. Once it renders a page, you get this page, web page is displayed on the screen on the user. It means first you write a URL, then browser communicates with the DNS server. After that the browser sends the HTTP or HTTP request, then web server receives and processes the request. After that the web server sends HTTP response, and then browser renders the web page, and lastly the web page is displayed on the screen on the user. Okay. Once we know how the WWW works, the next comes what are the characteristics or the features of a World Wide Web. First feature is hypertexting and hyperlinking. So WWW is nothing but it's a collection of websites. So websites is nothing but that is the collection of the web pages. So hypertexting and hyperlinking means what? The web pages are based on hypertext, that is the text with embedded links. This hyperlink is also called as web links, that is used to move to some location that may be within the page or among the pages or between the websites. So these are nothing but these are the links that connect one page to other page containing documents, images, videos, etc., regardless of physical location on the internet. The interconnectedness is a characteristic that defines the name web. Second feature is a multimedia integration. Multimedia integration means what? It integrates that web page may contains that text, audio and video, animations or the interactive elements. Third one is the uniform resource locator that we call as a URL. This is used to locate or you can say identify resources on the internet on the basis of the location. So every resource or the web page have its unique address, that is the URL through which that can be located. So you can write it as you use what the DNS domain name system for that. For example, you write www.google.com for the website. If inside this I have written about, then it will move to the web page that links to the google.com. Another feature is a client server architecture. Here the web browsers act as a client through which you sends a request in the form of the URL, that is a website that you want to visit, and then the web server will send the pages to the browser accordingly, so that you can view the web pages of that particular website. Next feature is a platform independence. The core technology of WWW is designed to be platform independent. It means what? The web pages can be accessed across any type of operating systems. It may be Unix, Linux, or the Windows or a Mac operating system, and it can be accessed on the different devices also. You can access it on the computer, on the desktop, on the personal computer, desktops, laptops, smartphones. So in that way it is a platform independent. Next feature is interactive and dynamic content. By having a technologies like JavaScript and AJAX, that is asynchronous JavaScript, and XML, that enables the creations of interactive and dynamic web pages that makes more engaging user experience. You might have experience of this. Whenever you want to create your email account, in that case you have to fill a form, then you write something that gets saved on it. It will ask for the password. If you have not entered the special character, then it will ask for to use a special character, or see eight number of characters that comprises of the alphabets, special symbols, and this. So in this way you have already experienced this. So that's an interactive dynamic content. Another feature is a global accessibility, that is web is globally available with an internet connection to share and access any information. And lastly, the searchability. Searchability means what? The search engines index. It is the amount of content on the web as the web pages that makes it easier to search using the keyboards. We have already done it or experienced it with the google.com. Anything you want to search, you just write on that text, the box, and the web, there you get the list of a website that in that this particular keyword appears. Next is the evolution of World Wide Web, that is from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and 4.0. So first one was the Web 1.0, and it was in between 1991 to 2004. It was a static read-only content, and it focuses on the information consumption, and there they use a static HTML, basic graphics and web directories. Examples are the personal websites, early company websites, Yahoo directory. After that, next comes the Web 2.0, which is from the 2004, I can say, the present it is used. It is interactive, it has a user generated content. It focuses on the social interaction, collaboration and sharing, and technologies use the dynamic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, AJAX, social media, blogs, wikis, video sharing, mobile web. An example is the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Wikipedia, WordPress, Instagram. After that, we have the Web 3.0 and it's ongoing. Its key characteristic is what? Semantic, and it is decentralized, intelligent. It focuses on the data understanding, ownership, personalization. Technologies that we use is the semantic web that you call as a linked data, ontologies, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, dApps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Examples are the decentralized social networks, NFT marketplaces, AI powered search, that the ChatGPT, smart home devices, and in the future vision is there in the Web 4.0. Its key characteristics is what it is: AI driven. It's a symbiotic. AI driven means what? Artificial intelligence is there, and it focuses on the seamless integration, anticipation, and collaboration. And technologies that is, and the concepts that are used is ubiquitous computing, advanced artificial intelligence, human artificial intelligence interaction, context aware system, personalized experiences. Example is it's a truly intelligent assistant, immerse AR VR experiences integrated into reality. So, this is all about the shows 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0. 1.0, it focuses on the static pages only, and it focuses on the content consumption, and there, because of that, there is a limited number of content creators. Whereas in Web 2.0, it is using social web and increasing number of content creators. There is a ease of sharing content and feedback. In the case of a 3.0, it is a decentralized and semantic web, provides smart experience, transparent and reliable. Next is what are the tools that can be used. So, the World Wide Web relies on variety of tools and technology that enables its functionality for both the users and the developers. For users, you have the web browsers, search engines, browser extensions or add-ons, download managers, media players, accessibility tools, and for developers, text editors, integrated development environment that we call as IDE, browser development tools, web analytical tools, and the search engine optimization. So, this is all about the World Wide Web with its features and how it works. Thank you.